Honestly, so one of your TikTok videos was like, are you like in like happy in love or whatever? And I'm like, no. And then and I hadn't listened to it yet. And you're like, I have a song for you. I'm like, bet. So then I go listen to it. I'm just sitting there like melting a little bit. I'm like, oh, this is so cute.
Hey everyone, it's Stage Manager Meg. I'm coming to you to introduce this week's episode of On The Porch with Front Porch Music. Our hosts, Jenna and Logan, have a special guest this week. Coming off the success of the record-breaking smash hit with the Reklaws, What the Truck, her latest EP, We Did, just dropped and we are loving it. She's also been named CMT's Next Woman of Country, Class of 2021. Grab a drink, pull up a rocking chair, count down until we interview with Shania Twain, and join Jenna and Logan for their chat with SACHA.
Hello, SACHA.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm well, thanks.
Welcome to the porch.
I'm liking it on the porch.
On a very, very windy day.
Yeah.
Where we're
very windy day.
having internet problems galore.
That's okay.
But the weather's gorgeous. It's a gorgeous front porch day. So.
It is.
You're right.
We should have done this outside. Actually, no, it would have been like
so
a hurricane.
Windy.
Yeah. That would have been a bad idea.
The worst ASMR ever. Just like frightening.
That's hilarious.
We're so excited to chat with you. You've had such a huge, 2 years really, just like breakthrough. Totally, we just want to talk about like all the highs you've had, and just like chat about like what's been going on and get like down to it because you have so much to be excited about and so much you've accomplished. That's so cool.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm really grateful. I feel really blessed for just some of the exciting things that I've been able to experience over the past 2 years, and it's still blowing my mind, and I still have more goals to attain, but I'm just so grateful for everything that's been happening.
It's kind of weird that the whole world had a really bad 2 years and you're like, mine's actually been pretty good.
I know, should I feel guilty about that?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, absolutely not.
A part of me is in the midst of, the most unprecedented circumstances and times, I'd have to say that it's been quite the beneficial time period for me, and it's just interesting because, some people are going through the worst things ever, but I mean, I don't know. I always thought about that. Should I feel guilty about that? But,
We've heard that from a few artists actually. And even for us too, as Front Porch, the pandemic obviously had a lot of really shitty things about it.
Right.
But it kind of opened up opportunities to connect with people that we never would have before. Yeah,
for sure. And I think it's in any situation, you could always see the glass half full or glass half empty, or you can say, you can take advantage of every opportunity, or you can let circumstances take advantage of you. So in this case, I was like, you know what, there's no time to stop. I've got to keep going. And it's proven to be the best steps that I've taken through the whole situation.
I like that. Jenna, you need to learn from that.
Never.
I'm very much the glass is half full always, and Jenna's not.
No.
I can empathize with Jenna.
Thank you.
Because it is tough to be the glass is half full, and but I think it's like a mindset. So it's definitely just picking out one thing. For me, it was, okay, I've got a song, and I've got a music video, or just one thing that was just coming at me all year long. I just had to cling on to that. So.
And you have a cute dog.
And I have a cute dog.
The start of the last 2 years kind of started with standards, right? With it kind of taking off and doing really well. Or was that last year? What is time?
I don't even know what day it is right now. Or what year it is.
I know, it's so hard.
But yeah, standards was huge.
Yeah, standards was huge. And again, like I said, it's just one of those things that you just, like an arrow shot in the dark, and, it actually hits the bullseye. So it was kind of, that's kind of what standard was for me. Opened up huge doors, and the doors just keep opening. What
was that feeling for you when you saw it climbing the charts and just getting the success that it deserved, but that it was getting?
I don't know. It was just interesting because a lot of things are just happening so fast that it's you don't have even a moment to properly appreciate it, and I was just like, because Sanders was on radio, and then it was on, CMT was playing it, and then it was on top 50, and then it was just like, having mega streams. So it was just like every day it was like a knock on the door for something great, and it was like, oh my gosh, how do I have time to even bask in all this excitement? But looking back, I'm just entirely grateful. It was just such an exciting ride the whole way through.
That's got to be really overwhelming.
I was just gonna say the same thing.
Like,
How overwhelming
in a good way.
Yeah. But like, I feel like I would have, in that situation, I would start to feel like, okay, what offer or what phone call is coming in that, like, who can I trust right now? Did you have any of that?
No, because it's like moments that you've always been waiting for, and it's like someone knocks, you open that door as wide as you can. Come on in, yeah, sure, and luckily for me, it was all the right people.
Yeah, and then that music video did really well. I just even visually,
it was so funny.
Yeah, like all the bright colors, I love it.
And my dog Trooper's debut.
Yes,
he was the star.
He was the star, yeah. Yeah, SACHA who? Bring on Trooper.
Yeah, that's so true.
He is your little sidekick, though, right? Trooper comes everywhere with you.
Yeah, I'm sure his ears are perking up right now because he can probably hear.
He was backstage at the CMAOs, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
Shut up.
That was so cute.
Yeah.
There were a few dogs backstage, and it was like...
Okay, cool.
Yeah, like most of them walked the red carpet. It was so funny.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Yeah, he had his little Pink Floyd t-shirt on.
What? I need a picture of him.
He was riding high style.
I love that so much. So Standards does well, and then what was the next big thing that came in right after that?
Well, here's the thing, because Standards was out. I'd say if I have to just capitalize on a moment that was really huge for me, and this happened before Standards, was CMT, Next Women of Country.
Yeah. I had that. I wanted to talk about that. That's very, very cool.
Yeah, that was that's a life-changing moment type of thing.
Because that's not just Canada, right?
No.
It's not just Canada. It's CMT is in Nashville, and I mean, I've admired the program CMT Next Women of Country for so long, and all the the stars that come out of it, like Maren Morris and Gabby Barrett, and so many more, Mickey Guyton, and I was just like, how do it? Tennille Arts was in the class with me 2021, and she's doing mega awesome too. And I was just like, how do I find myself in a program like this? It's just the years of hard work and determination and not quitting that I actually had that opportunity. So that was the moment that I think just really flew some doors open.
Did you have any moments where you were like, do I belong here?
That's a good question. I don't think I've been asked that. Do I belong here?
I want you to feel it now, back.
Jen and I think that about us all the time.
Yeah,
what are we doing here?
Yeah, you get to go, it's a huge program, and it's really, like you said, some very huge successes come out of it. So did you have a moment where you were like, am I really?
You know what? I've been doing this for so long, and I've been making so many sacrifices and working hard. I don't think it's a question of, do I belong here? It was just a question of, it was more of an expression of, I can't believe I'm here.
That's good.
I feel like when I get somewhere, it's just something that I've always seen and always dreamed because it's on my list. So it's not really a matter of, do I belong here? But it's I can't believe I got here.
That's incredible. I like the way you look at it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a better way of putting it than what we did.
It's
probably healthier too. The way that Jen and I talk about us in the industry. We're like, what happened? How did this happen?
Yeah, no, for sure. I get that. No, I get that.
It's just such a whirlwind, right? It just happens so quickly, and you're just trying to keep up. So sometimes you get.
It is. I think that do I belong here stuff, or anything that sounds or feels like that, is if I that comes up, it's a confidence thing where I'm sure most people have felt like, do I belong here? Or am I just as good as, am I good enough?
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah.
So the Next Women of Country, what was the biggest thing that you were able to take from that one?
Okay. The biggest thing I was able to take from that, well, I feel like it was a validation of all the hard work and the music that I put in, that I was on the right track. To be able to be championed as one of the women in that class and a part of the alumni, for me, it was a huge validation for me. So I feel like it's almost like a step up of the, do I belong here? It's more like you know what, I belong here and I'm gonna go for the stars type of thing, and I am good enough.
I love that.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's such a great attitude. Okay, so all that crazy stuff happens, and then you kind of link up with the Reklaws in a random way.
Yeah, too random for words.
So random that to the fact where I'm like, was that actually planned and just like they like did that on TikTok? I'm like, oh, let's just make this a TikTok thing. But like,
I think, sorry, I cut you off because I'm just getting excited about this.
No,
sorry, you go ahead.
No, go for it. Was this actually random?
Yeah, okay, I can talk now because I'm like,
yeah, go for it.
I don't want to cut you off because I'm getting so excited about this story. And it's interesting because, like, okay, let's say it wasn't me. Let's say it was somebody else who got that opportunity. For all we know, I could have thought the same thing, like perhaps it was, already prearranged.
Mm-hmm.
But I am here to tell you it was totally not prearranged. I mean, I literally, I'm trying to see TikTok's bumping now, and it's the next big platform. So I'm like, okay, I'm get more active on my TikTok. I'm going to take whatever opportunities come. I see that they had the sample out and they're reaching out to the fans and their audience, and they're just like, hey, and basically in short words, inviting people to help them finish this song. And I just thought, oh my gosh, that loop, like that sound, whatever they got there is like, it's crazy. It's fire. And I was like, yeah, let me hop on it. I wrote something like, earlier that week, I was just working on something and I just spit it out on the duet with the Reklaws, and I literally turned my back and didn't think anything of it. I thought, okay, great, more content for my TikTok.
Get a few extra views, maybe hit some For You pages.
Yeah, and maybe they'll share it because I love them. I love their music. I love their brand. Like everything about them is top notch. So I, honest to goodness, didn't see that coming. All of a sudden I get... Like, I could have just not did it.
Yeah.
What happened? I always think of, like, what if I didn't do it?
Yeah.
So, and I've missed out on opportunities, I feel like that, just because I didn't do something. So, lesson learned, just do it,
That is a great lesson.
It's the butterfly effect. One thing changes everything, right?
One thing changes everything. But I got a DM from Jenna. And
Amazing.
she's like, I wonder if I saved it, because if that's going to be any proof. Oh, not this Jenna. Jenna from the Reklaws. And she's like, hey, like, we really love what you did, and we want you to be a part of this song with us. So we think you'd be, whatever. And I was like, is this a joke?
Yeah.
LOL. And she's like, no, it's not a joke.
That's you actually respond. Is this a joke?
Yeah, I'm like, if I have to like go back to our messages and find that and just like frame it so that people know this was totally not prearranged. I tell you, I kid you not.
At that point, did you think that it was like, oh, I'm just gonna help write the verse and just have like a writing credit on it, or were from the beginning were they like, no, you're on the song?
I didn't see yeah, I think because everything happened so fast, I thought, okay, like one line from this might make it, on the song, or I get to sing whatever else, they've already come up with. Or so I just thought, okay, I'm going to be on this song. It's TikTok. I thought maybe it was just going to be some big TikTok thing, right? But like I'm talking, it feels like almost like it was just days between. It might even been like the next week, if not that week. But I was recording, and then sorry.
Wow. Like you. Yeah. Let's get to work.
Recording my part. Yeah. Let's get to work. And then we're doing a music video. Great.
That is surreal.
Yeah.
What an experience.
And then we're closing out the CCMAs. Like, I'm honest to goodness.
Oh, when you busted up on that stage, I was like, yes, girl. Yes.
And then you had, and like Priyanka came up, and then Lindsay L was there. It was like an iconic.
Yeah.
Like that final frame, that picture that's circulated around from it is like such a cool picture.
So
and like the look of like happiness on all of your faces is amazing.
Yeah. It was a party of the century, I guess, for that moment. I'm telling you, I'm still, like I said, it's all still catching up with me.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
And then you didn't even have time to breathe because it's been it broke records.
Yeah.
And you've been playing it with them, and then you put your own EP out.
Yeah, you see, I don't waste any time.
No, man.
You got to capitalize on that.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. When you were like presented the opportunity with the Reklaws, I'm assuming you were already working on the EP. Did you have any like reservations about like the timelines and being able to work on all of this at the same time, or were you just like, I can do it all?
No, you're gonna learn everything I do. I feel like is from off the seat of my pants because
Ah,
I wasn't working like I
brilliant.
was writing songs like through Zoom and stuff and trying to get songs together and trying to just figure out what the branding and what the message and what the sound's going to be. But it was still very just kind of going with the flow. I did know I wanted to put out music. I didn't know when.
Gotcha.
This EP that happened is a whole another story when you're ready to talk about that. I forget the rest, but
That's okay.
forget what forget what else you asked. But
That's okay. I was saying like the time you're saying like you just fly by the seat of your pants. Everything is like it comes when it comes, and if we want to do it tomorrow, we'll figure it out tomorrow, kind of thing, right?
yeah, I mean, like, yeah, essentially, like, I obviously I have plans, right?
Right.
But my plans, for the most part, get intercepted. Whether it's
By the
COVID,
Reklaws.
by the Reklaws, by the Reklaws, or COVID hits, and it's like, okay, do I stay or do I go now? And it's like, well, I guess I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
And like, oh, CMT is knocking on my door, so this, like, it's just the way I live, I guess.
You got to be so proud of yourself.
Yeah. Seriously, come on.
I think I have a lot of expectations for myself.
Fair.
Relatable.
Yeah.
I think
very
that's the
relatable.
thing. And I have to actually give my own self that, I guess, validation or credit.
Yeah.
Because I maybe that's something that I just kind of neglect. It's just like I have all these goals and expectations, and
You gotta
I think
you
I
gotta
have
take
to,
a beat and be proud of yourself there, because like
yeah.
even just like from us on the outside, like there's so much to be proud of.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
I've been
Yeah.
your little cheerleader ever since we first chatted. I honestly
You're welcome.
remember that interview so well. You're like, I'm so sorry, I'm like not good with words today. And then afterwards you messaged and you were like, I don't know how that was great. You did a great job of making me sound like coherent.
You're a masterpiece. You're a masterpiece with words. I was like,
That was so great.
I was just like, that was, wow. I was impressed, at my own self, at the own words I was coming that you put together. But yeah, I think that I do, like, thinking back, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm proud of myself. I know that sounds funny, but
Pretty
it's like,
sure.
I just don't give myself that time to rest yet, or to be well done. Maybe I have to work. That's probably something I have to work on.
Well, we'll
'Cause I
be
think
proud
it's
for you.
important.
Absolutely. We
Well,
will
yeah,
be.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank
We're
you.
here for you.
I do feel the same way though. There's always like, even like in my professional life now, there's so many things that I've done over the last 2 years, which like thankfully I was able to accomplish some things more quickly than planned because I had more free time.
Right.
But immediately once I had like hit that like target, it was like, okay, what's next? What am I doing
Yeah.
now? There's never like a like, yes, good for me, I'm so happy. It's just like, what am I doing to like push it to the next level now? Like what's next in line, right? So I relate.
Maybe it's easier to be proud of other
Yeah.
people than of yourself.
Oh, for
Because I
sure.
think because you're talking like, yeah, that's me too, actually.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Because you're not
Yeah.
sure where somebody else's like goals and accomplishments and like where's their finish line. You're just like, wow, that was really great that you did that. Where like when you're the person who's doing it, you're like, that was like, this is my list and I'm like on number
Yeah.
3, right? Like, so it's just like another step in the
Right.
yeah.
I don't know how to segue back to where I wanted to go, but that's okay.
Sorry.
We got really deep.
Yeah, we did.
So I'm thinking back to the CCMAs. I was backstage for the show, working in the media room. You walked backstage and you just looked so cool with like your like after the red carpet with the glasses and like your outfit. You
Aw.
just looked so cool. People were
thank
like
you.
stopping to like watch, and like when you walked into the media room, like people were like,
All eyes on you.
yeah.
Cool.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
that was fun.
was that so fun to like get dressed up for and like find your look?
My goodness, I like lost lots of sleep just trying to figure out, like, fashion's a big deal for me too. And this was a big deal for me because it was a first red carpet, first like CCMAs where I'm not a spectator. I'm not on the
Yeah.
outside.
You're on
you
the
know what I
freaking
mean?
stage.
I'm on the freaking stage, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I was losing sleep just trying to figure out what I'm gonna wear and how I'm gonna look, and yeah, it was fun.
Where's your
I like
style
to dress
inspo
up.
come from? Because like you did that all like, do you have a stylist that helps sometimes or no?
I do have a stylist who is now. At that point, I actually just found some items at a store that is in Toronto, and I'm just trying to figure out the name because I feel like they need to get credit for that. I think it's the AKA store.
Okay.
But I
We know where Jenna's going next week.
Going home.
okay. Oh, sorry, AKA the store.
Oh.
That's what it's called. So it's really cool because I feel like it's kind of got like Hollywood glam and really eclectic pieces. I actually reached out, funny enough, to Cheryl Hickey on Instagram, and I was
Cool.
like, "Hey, Cheryl, when he, because I always like what she's wearing, and
Yeah.
she's actually the one who suggested the AKA the store brand to me. So popped in and I found everything that I needed and wanted for that whole weekend in terms of dressing up or being high fashion, and the dress that I wore on the red carpet, though, I added the flowers and the
Oh, really?
and I added the diamond studs on there and the tassels under the arm.
Fun.
Wow, look at you.
Yeah,
Little
yeah.
DIY queen.
It was a DIY kind of thing for
I
sure.
love that for you. How do you like when you're looking at your style, and you said it's a huge part for you. So what is it about your style that is so, part of your personality and your image and all that good stuff?
About what is it about my style that's I don't know. Like I just as a kid I will consider myself tacky.
Okay.
Like yeah, like I know that sounds funny, but really tacky at times, and just I think tacky is a thing for fashion because it's stuff that sticks out.
More is better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or like a bright color or something it's kind of a little unorthodox or a little less traditional of a ball gown kind of dress. It was more like a leather. It was actually like a bodysuit with a skirt. You wouldn't even be able to tell, but it was like all like vegan leather, and just stuff that is a little bit not normal or a little, outside of the box.
Like
Is what my
eclectic,
eye,
right? Like
eclectic for sure,
yeah.
is what my eye gravitates to.
Cool. I
So,
love that.
like, you've always been into like high fashion stuff or fashion in general?
Probably. I do have a trophy somewhere. I have a twin sister, and we were in a little fashion show when we were like 3 years old.
What?
So I think it
Fun.
was something that was there for time, and I do have some fashion endeavors as well. So
Oh, cool.
yeah,
That's really cool.
yeah.
Tell us
That'll
more.
be another time.
Okay,
okay,
fair.
okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair. But honestly, as when you're like a super creative person, and like that is like something that you exude, is like I'm a creative human being, and like the way you talk and the way you express yourself, not just through music, you're very like art is your thing, and I think that like fashion is something that like falls into that category naturally for a lot of people too, when they're like inspired and surrounded by art, and that's like just their whole being, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Totally. I love that. That's great.
So you're like obviously a super creative. How does the business side of this industry sit with you? Like, is that something that you have to work really hard at, or like?
You know what? I've had no choice because I've been independent for so long. When it comes to handling my own affairs, I had to.
Yep.
It's hard, eh?
It really is, but I'm so thankful that I have a team now with Starseed Entertainment who has really helped me take off the load and really helped me to execute my vision.
I wouldn't consider myself the most administrative person,
You and me both.
like at all. So yeah, I've struggled. There's big holes in areas where admin comes along, but for the most part, I've had to just kind of carry myself from one point in my career to the next. Administratively. So yeah, I think the business part though is very important.
Yeah. Did you figure it out as you went along? Because there's no like rule book. People like where did you find like what you needed to be able to get that stuff keep that side of it going too?
It's interesting because honestly, like I think for sure the art side of I don't feel like I had been able to put as much energy into my creative side. So something's going to get compromised,
Yeah.
or you're going to have to overcompensate. And so I somehow managed to juggle both. But the thing that I look forward to moving forward is being able to put my whole entire energy into the creative aspect and my artistry, being able to write more and not, jump off write and then go to here or do that or answer a million emails or calls, but be able to be 100% present in everything I do that's creative. So that's something that I really and I'm really looking forward to in this next season.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's the dream.
Seriously.
I think the business side though, especially for independent artists, I think it's something that you have to kind of get yourself in on, just so that when you are at a place where you can start hiring a team, you kind of know what you're looking for and what and what you can pass off and what you still need to keep on to. And even for the things that you do pass off, that like you are handing it off to people who you can trust and can also still have an eye on to be like, are they still doing what's best for me?
Yeah, 1000%. And that's, like, as much as, an artist doesn't, like I was saying, would love to just focus on the creative side of things. If you're independent and you don't have a team, then the business part of things are just as important, if not more important than the artistry, because that's what's going to launch your artistry. Like your artistry, it can come and go, but if you have a really good business etiquette or at least standard or ethic, then you can continue to keep your career and your dreams afloat.
Absolutely.
Totally.
What when you've been working on building out your team, what are some like key, I don't want to say like core values maybe, that you're looking for in those humans that you want to represent you and be part of your team? What do you value in those people?
Definitely integrity, passion, enthusiasm, and people that just have that like nothing is impossible mentality.
That's important. You need somebody who's like on the same, like running at the same speed you are too, right? Because we've clearly come to the fact that you have one speed and it's go. So everybody needs to be able to keep up.
Hey, I used to run track and field back in the day, and I was in the relay, and it was like no looking back, just pass that baton forward at the speed of light. So yeah, definitely me. I'm like a year ahead of myself in all things, but yeah.
That's a good way to look at it, though.
That is a good way to look at it.
For sure. Well, why don't we take a quick break, and then we will jump back into it and talk about your new release.
Sure.
All right.
Doing that front porch thing. Doing that front porch thing.
We are back, SACHA. We have been having such a great conversation, but we want to talk about your new EP, We Did. First of all, the single We Did has already over 300,000 streams on Spotify alone, so that's insane.
Yeah, it's doing what we thought it would do.
That's good. That's great. Why did you pick that one to go kind of as the lead off for the EP?
Well, we did. Like, I've been fortunate enough to have a storybook kind of, love story, even myself. And I think it's something that everybody relates to when it comes to love, or at least wanting a type of love, And it's very personal to me, and it did resonate with me when I first heard it. In fact, it kind of had that T Swift, fall hard, first love kind of cut through the heart type of impact. And I don't know, for anybody that knows me long enough, I've always been a huge fan of Taylor Swift and the way her music made me feel from Love Story. So, I mean, that it was just the right match. And yeah, I think the most important thing about that song was the way it made me feel, that nostalgic kind of love storytelling vibe. And I think that a message like that is universal and relatable for anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
Even if you don't have a significant other, I mean, like, you can just live vicariously through the lyrics.
Honestly,
it just paints it out so well.
Honestly, so one of your TikTok videos was like, "Are you like happy in love or whatever?" And I'm like, "No." And then and I hadn't listened to it yet. And you're like, "I have a song for you." I'm like, "Bet." So then I go listen to it. I'm just sitting there like melting a little bit. I'm like, "Oh, this is so cute. You got me, man. You got me."
Yeah. Well,
so you're totally right. You're totally right.
Yeah. Like, you could just, you can dream it up, or you can even just, like I said, you could just have the feelings of falling in love just because of the energy that's behind it,
Totally. So you said you've had like a good love story. So what's it like having, like, obviously you have a supportive partner who's like on board and totally like your biggest cheerleader, right? So
Jenna needs some tips here.
Yeah. How do you find? Where did you find? And
where did I? Well, I think we're gonna need like a cup of coffee and somewhere to sit around and talk about this story, because it's just too good to put out in like the next 1 to 2 minutes. But it was something that started young. Aww. And is still lasting now, even today. Aww. And it wasn't something that I was looking for or that I even expected. Like anything else, kind of an interception in my life, like all these other great things that happened to me with the music. And I think that what really struck me is, again, his values, and it's like even just how work ethic and support. Like when you find somebody that really believes in you and is so selfless, I think that's really some things to be noted. And yeah, it's just interesting because relationships and I don't know, the standards of relationships, even like with my song Standards, right? It's the whole thing about having standards, but it could be a little bit tricky maybe in this day and age, but it's not impossible. And it's not that it's not there. It's just maybe we're not looking in the right places or we're looking too hard. For me, I wasn't looking. It just kind of about me.
That's so cute.
That is cute. Never mind. I gotta go. I got work to do. No, just kidding. No, that's really great. It's like super important. So,
speaking of going back to the release of your EP, one of my favorite things that I see online of yours is when you're posting you in Dundas Square with your face on a giant billboard, and it's just like the smile on your face is so infectious. And it like just seeing those posts, like from all artists, it just makes me so happy. Like, how surreal is it to see yourself blown up to like 1,000,000 times your size? It's
just crazy. Again, it's surreal. You just cannot believe it. It's like, what is happening right now, you know? And it was absolutely freezing that day. Like, when I say freezing, I mean I was probably next to tears by the time I got in the car. My ears were so. They were like on fire. Like I didn't like, if you can tell, I didn't dress the part. I went down there in my jacket with a cropped sweater kind of tee and high-waisted jeans, and I was just like, yeah. But it's just like, it was worth it because like at that moment, like the cold went away, and I was just like, I can't even believe it. And it's, although I can only catch a glimpse of it for like half a second, I was just like, it's major. It's a big deal, you know.
Yeah.
It's just a big deal because I think about where I started and where I am now, and it just gives me more hope and encouragement that anything that I put down to paper or that I'm dreaming of can become a reality.
So when you're standing in front of the billboard getting a picture taken, is there anybody who's like looking at you being like, hey, she's up there?
I don't, not really, actually.
It was probably too cold.
Nobody was out there.
Too cold.
It was just
It was too cold. There was a man, he was completely shirtless and he was walking around throwing things on the ground, and
What?
Yeah, he was, you know, there was just like a lot of kind of activities. Downtown Dundas Square, right? So there's a lot of fun happening there, or some, you know, interesting things happening. But I mean, it's everyone's so busy, everyone's head's down, but my head was up. I was looking for that billboard.
Oh, that's surreal.
That's such a fun feeling.
Totally. Okay. Back to the EP once again. There's like a good little mix. You've got your love song. I'm dumb. I just forgot the name of the wine song, but I love it.
If I
wanted wine.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. And then Pretty Please. You got a like good little combo of like tidbits of like your life and personality all into this like cute little catalog.
Yeah, it's kind of a preview of what's to come. Yeah. So I'm only getting started with this chapter.
That's
chapter
pretty
1.
Cool. How did you pick out what you were looking to? Because it's 4 songs, right? And one of them is What the Truck.
One of them is What the Truck. That's got to be there. I mean, we get it with a bang. But you know, Pretty Please again is personal to me, and it's usually, you know, like it's a song that is about one that maybe struggles with confidence, or confidence in themselves, confidence again in their dreams or what they can achieve, and the standards of beauty or all the expectations that we have of ourselves are ever increasing, especially with the rise of social media and filters and all, you know, sorts of things that help us get away from our authenticity, you know. And that song kind of takes you back to like a more of like a, I guess, high school era.
Yeah.
But at the same, yeah. You just did the younger you. I'm excited to share what's coming with Pretty Please really soon. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah.
What a tease.
Like Tuesday.
Like Tuesday.
Yeah.
I wish.
That soon.
I wish. But I feel like this song is actually it's really special, and it's really powerful. And I know people get, you know, dragged away with the I Wanted Wine, If I Wanted Wine, which I don't blame you, because that song sonically and, you know, it's just hits the ears in every capacity. But and I love that song as well. And then there's We Did, which is that high energy. I can't wait to get on the stage and perform all those songs this
I
summer.
bet.
But when I get a chance to pull out a guitar and sing Pretty Please and maybe share a little bit of my personal story, I think that's just a place that it's kind of a song that opens up a little bit more of a vulnerable side of me. And I'm excited to, share that with everyone.
It's important to balance that too, especially when you're putting out a more fun track like we did and you're, bouncing off the walls with Wet the Truck, and then you like can still bring it back to like, hey, this is also me, right?
Right.
It's super important for people to get to know you.
Yeah. But not all at once.
No.
So like I said, some of these conversations are going to, like I said, they're going to start off with some tea or like whatever, wherever behind the stage, backstage festival, combos or.
Yeah.
Because
we'll bring the coffee, you bring the conversation.
Right.
Cute.
Let's get that on a t-shirt. I like that.
Coffee and conversation. I love that. It's like a little bit we should do.
Yeah, we should do that.
There you go.
Here we
New
are.
podcast.
Business planning right here.
Yeah. Podcast number 2 with Front Porch, hosted by
That's
SACHA.
right.
Yeah.
There you go. Coffee and conversation.
No, it's seriously though, like it's one thing to like, record and let people get to know you, but it's also like the things that happen organically when you get to see somebody in person for the first time, or when you're like, you just like connect with people differently when it's just like in person and it's, like I said, organic, and you get to feel each other out a little bit better and like get to know them, and you can feel like when you trust people, you can tell them a little bit more about your story and they share that too, right? Because sometimes when we sit here, it's like a little like, we want to know about you, and you're like, whoa.
Well, yeah, and I think it's important. Yeah, and like any time, like I'm very open. I'm pretty much, I think, for the most part, an open book. But I've learned that there's a time and a place for stories and for depth and for sorts of transparency. But the main thing that I'm just so excited about, even with this music, is just having people drawn to the music. And it's like the breadcrumbs to the artist. Who is this that sings that song? Where the music matters and then the artist matters to them. And I think it's just the way that maybe that's just how it works with music, is nobody cares, who I'm dating or who I'm, what I mean? Their first interaction or their first introduction to me is a song, something heard on the radio, something heard on streaming. And then it's kind of the breadcrumbs back to the artist. So
yeah, I've said this to some of our clients, like the audience has to love you, like your music first, and then the love for you comes after you've proven your worth to them.
Yeah.
Who's done that really well is Tennille Arts.
Oh yeah, Tennille. Yeah, I agree.
She
and she's got a great voice too.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, she's unstoppable. But her last album, like her most recent album, I guess, I walked over to my best friend. We live together. These little offices in our basement that we work from home, and I had been listening to it the day it came out, and I was like, this is like one big hug. Like, this girl just like knows how to be your big sister. And then I hear her talking, and it's like, she has a little sister and they're best friends, and she's like, I'm like the queen of big sister country, like this is what I do. And you just like feel so connected to a human, because she's like, I want you to feel understood and welcome in my space, right? Like, I think she just does that so well.
Yeah, and that's important. That's part of her, a big part of her success.
Yeah, totally.
And it goes back to the music.
Exactly. The whole point, which is so cool. It's hard to like make a decision when you're like wanting to, like, how big is your catalog of music that you're like, I'm dying for people to hear this, but like you have to be strategic about it.
I think it's probably, I feel like I'm still working on getting a team of right people to tell my story. Like I said, because I've been balancing the independent, the business and the like the creative part was a smaller percentage in comparison to me just being the business person, wearing the business hat for so long. And I got songs, but then time goes by and some songs will come back and they'll be relevant, or some will just stay locked up in the vault. You'll meet new people, and they'll be able to bring out the better version of your story. So that's what I'm working on. Yeah, that's what I'm working on. And I feel like just like how these songs, by the way, like they just came in a flash of a moment. And I flew into Nashville, recorded the songs, like within 24 hours, and flew back home.
That sounds exhausting.
It was exhausting, and not to mention the flights were delayed and all that stuff that happened in between. But that's always a sign that I'm on the right path, like something big is around the corner for me. So if trouble strikes, I know I'm on the right path. But yeah, this EP, like it was like match made in heaven kind of thing. 3 songs, let's go, record 24 hours, and then put out a song. Or sorry, put out the EP. Again, unorthodox, but it worked. And I feel like moments like that or songs like that are still out there in the ethos. You know what I mean? So I could say I have a catalog, but I feel like I'm totally just looking forward to the stuff that I haven't even been introduced to yet.
You teased a bit of new music coming soon. Do you have any timelines?
Did I say that?
You said this is just like the first little like the first piece of this big like chapter.
Yeah.
So kind of.
Oh, okay. So are we assuming now, or I didn't say that, did I?
Yeah, you did.
I did.
You did.
Oh no, wait. I said the chapter. I said a tease. Yes, I did say the tease, but I didn't say anything about a music video, did I, guys?
Oh my goodness. We were assuming.
Oh, okay then.
SACHA.
So
you have me so intrigued right
now.
Stay tuned. I saw
all I can say.
You're caught. Your Instagram stories yesterday. Somebody else I follow on Instagram yesterday. You've been busy.
I've been busy. Yeah.
That's great.
I'm like so intrigued and so excited right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that story has expired, so I'm just gonna have to wait.
That 24-hour thing. Damn it.
Yeah.
Well, SACHA, we're coming to the end here. Where can people find you?
They can find me on Instagram at SACHA Official Music. SACHA spelled SACHA. And you can find me on TikTok. Again, SACHA Official Music. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on YouTube. You can go to www.iamsasha.com. But I'm most active on Instagram and TikTok right now.
Yeah, you're a lot of fun to follow on TikTok.
You are.
Yeah, thanks. I try.
Well, that is bringing us to the end of our time here. Thanks so much for joining us, SACHA.
Thanks for having me. This was fun.
And we're so excited to hear this, whatever's coming up next.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm excited to share that. I'm excited to share it with you.
Yeah. And so everyone, just be sure to keep watching on frontporchmusic.ca. We'll definitely be keeping you all updated as well.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much for joining us on The Porch with Front Porch Music. I love talking to artists and digging deep into the world of Canadian country music, and I'm so excited you joined. If you liked this episode, please rate, review, and subscribe to this podcast. That's the easiest way for you to support this show. You may even get a shout out. So we'll see you in a couple weeks next time on The Porch. On The Porch with Front Porch Music is hosted by me, Logan Miller, and Jenna Weishar. The theme song was written, produced, and performed by Owen Wrigley.